Police officer Amelia from a tiny village never imagined that a simple beach patrol would become a terrifying mystery. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. She shuddered as she stood in front of the antique ship that had washed up on the coast 90 years later. Her discovery within was so disturbing that she immediately radioed for help. It had occurred during one of her usual patrols. Since many people frequently strolled the beach at night, she had been monitoring it to look for any signs of the previous night's events, but she had never imagined that this mechanical beast would be on the beach. She was aware that she needed to request further help. Weather and time have worn down the facade. Pressing the transmission button, Amelia spoke into a radio. "Dispatch, this is Officer Amelia requesting backup at West Beach for an unidentified object near the old jetty. Over." Before a recognizable voice spoke, "Copy that, Amelia," the radio beeped. "I'm forwarding this to Officer Marcus. 5 minutes is the ETA. Be careful." The hull had a horrible appearance. One letter was visible on the worn nameplate AP Munley. The others, Neptune, had long since faded. For a ship named after the sea deity, it was a fitting moniker. In less than 5 minutes, Amelia heard the sound of a car getting closer and closer as the tires crunched on the gravel at the entrance to the beach. Marcus's well-known patrol SUV arrived. The door opened once it had parked, showing Marcus, who seemed apprehensive. His mouth dropped to the ground upon seeing the ship. He started acting right away. "All right, team, let's approach this systematically." The crew started their inquiry before they really knew what horrors this ship had in store for them. Marcus, Amelia, and Jane had the inquisitive group under control while Louise guarded the area, so they went to the Neptune. They had to wade through some shallow waters at first, but they soon came to the ship's gangway. It creaked beneath Amelia's weight as she attempted it first, but it stayed sturdy enough for the two to climb. Marcus began to speak once they had nearly reached the deck. "The ship on which my great-grandfather perished was never located. For that reason, my grandpa never got to know his father. I simply have to wonder when I see this, you know?" Amelia and Marcus could never have imagined what they would discover in the end at that point. Their feat of hauling themselves onto the ship's deck was a tribute to lost maritime treasures. Then Marcus saw something, as his palm came into contact with a tarnished plaque. Neptune's Trident, 1933, the ship's name and debut date were inscribed on the plaque. Aloud, he read, "She must have seen so much." Amelia motioned for Marcus to accompany her below while brandishing a flashlight. With each step, the metal staircase of the ship creaked. They discovered cramped hallways below that led to the crew quarters. After noticing fading photos, they quickly discovered photos taken by the crew members. They then noticed something flash in the corner as they continued to walk. Something rusty and ancient waited beyond it, ready to rock their world. Amelia was drawn to an old corroded locket that was lying on the ground. She attempted to carefully pry it open, being cautious not to damage the exquisite jewels. The astonishing image inside the locket was a black and white snapshot of a young mother cuddling a youngster who seemed no more than 3 years old. He had already seen it when she turned to show him. Even with the lighting on, his complexion seemed practically pasty white. It appeared as though he had seen a ghost. In a whisper, Marcus said, That's my great-grandmother," ending the stillness. This caused Amelia's eyes to widen. "That is undoubtedly enlightening. Then this had to be the ship that your great-grandfather worked on when it sailed from the harbor of our town 90 years ago. We might be able to determine what happened to them if we look into it more." As they continued down the eerie little hallway, Amelia's flashlight beam soon passed over a big, tarnished door bearing an odd symbol, a trident clutched by 2 hands. Amelia said, "This has to be the captain's cabin." They understood they would require specialized equipment to unlock the sealed door. However, it forced them to go on, as there was another door beside the captain's cabin that was only a little bit ajar. Marcus pressed his foot inside to reveal the treasures within. It was the quarters of the first mate. Marcus moved cautiously toward the picture that had captured his interest in the dimly lighted room. The man's formal features mirrored Marcus's own, giving him an uncanny familiarity. The photograph's clever protection scheme became apparent upon closer inspection. Strong and obviously old, the frame possessed a luster that indicated it was water-resistant. Amelia stated, "There's something more to this frame," with a voice full of resolve. Marcus took his time disassembling the backing of the frame. To his surprise, there were folded bits of parchment tucked up neatly below the picture. Amelia picked one of the letters and opened it carefully to start reading. "It's addressed to your great-grandfather," she murmured, anguish shining through. When both Marcus and the guys in the picture learned that the story had been passed down through the years, their bond grew. They focused on one sentence in particular. It spoke of impending storms and the gloom they brought. "So if anything happens to me during the storm, find the ship's log," Amelia said. Marcus and Amelia exchanged enlightening glances. Marcus remarked, "The captain's log would naturally be with him." Amelia gave a nod of assent, the potential lighting up her face. Old locks and strong metal barred the entryway, sealing it tight. The sound of footsteps announced Jane's return with more help. With a variety of equipment in tow, including crowbars and metal cutters, they were prepared to take on the locked door. When the team started working on the door, they were surprised by how resilient it was. Its reinforced nature was demonstrated by the resistance encountered in every attempt to cut or pry it open. But even the most formidable obstacles may be conquered with perseverance, talent, and collaboration. Muttering, the door gave way with one more agonizing shove before trembling and groaning. Past the door, more skeleton remains could be seen in the tiny hallways, each depicting a distinct moment of death. Marcus experienced a chill down his spine as the tragedy's weight made each step more difficult. Amelia and Marcus felt the past of the ship pulse around them with every bone fragment they passed. Marcus's flashlight beam noticed something strange in the midst of the awful scene, a metallic safe with elaborate inscriptions that suggested significance. The ship's log, with its worn but undamaged leather cover, was nestled within. With great care, Marcus raised it. The reward for their journey was now in his hands. He exhaled, "We found it," his eyes shining with astonishment and accomplishment. They discovered a variety of relics, jewels, coins, and elaborate items as they dug deeper into the safe. Each item had a story to tell. "These were thought to be lost," said Jane, gesturing to a pendant with a beautiful design. Amelia went on, "They are more than just treasures." A cache of sealed letters was discovered beneath the relics. Their presence offered insight into a more personal aspect of the ship's past. Marcus, Amelia, and Jane were taken back to the last moments of the ship as they read the letters. Every word was infused with feeling, creating a striking portrait of hope, despair, and love. The letter that said, "We cannot escape the storm," was received. "But know my love for you is eternal." The crew's true feelings came to light, telling a story of unwavering love and acceptance of fate in addition to tragedy. The villagers were deeply touched by the tale of Neptune's trident. Marcus shared their findings and related the stories of love, hopelessness, and resiliency in a town hall meeting. "We are obligated," he declared. "We need to remember and honor their story." Sensing the weight of their shared obligation, Amelia nodded in accord. Ideas for immortalizing the ship and her crew were circulating around the community. A committed group was established in a matter of weeks to supervise the establishment of a marine museum. A symbolic connection to the sea was ensured by allocating land close to the shore. Amelia pondered, "It'll be a beacon, pointing to the trident's past." Marcus added, "and making sure it survives." The committee's workstation was littered with models, drawings, and blueprints that represented the idea that was beginning to take shape. The museum was not intended to be a place where items were put on exhibit. The visitors would be guided through the ship's magnificence, several journeys, and untimely demise in an interactive experience. The letters are the focal point because they are arranged such that they can be read in soft light, which enables viewers to empathize profoundly with the unfiltered feelings they represent. Jane said, "It's like diving deep into the ship's soul and understanding its heartbeat." A crowd unlike any other was present during the grand opening. Individuals from nearby towns flocked in, excited to contribute to the tribute. Jane, Marcus, and Amelia stood tall as they saw guests go through the displays with expressions of reverence, grief, and amazement on their faces. Amelia murmured, "This is their tribute," addressing the team. Dedication to commemorating and honoring the Neptune's trident was demonstrated by the museum. The museum developed into a landmark over time. People gathered from all around to celebrate, lament, and learn about the ship's history. Its corridors were explored by historians, school groups, and inquisitive visitors, all of whom left with a personal piece of the Neptune's trident tale engraved in their memories. With its legends of mystery, bravery, and love, the ship's memory endured as a poignant and uplifting reminder of a bygone era. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.